If you had told me 1 year ago when Chainsaw Man Part 2 started that Denji was going to end up joining a cult, I wouldn't be all that surprised. But if you had told me that he was going to join a cult dedicated to himself and he still isn't even the leader, I still probably wouldn't be all that surprised. You see, the longer Chainsaw Man goes on, the more it feels like Denji's just going with the flow as wacky shit he has no control over happens all around him. The dichotomy of mundane versus surrealist reminds me a lot of the Adult Swim cartoon Smiling Friends.
You kissed your dad on the mouth?
That surely must come off as a bit of an odd comparison, but I don't think it would be much of a stretch to consider any surrealist media Chainsaw Man adjacent. Oh my god, it's just like the International Assassins arc! But aside from that, even though this chapter felt pretty short, there's still a decent amount to talk about when it comes to Denji's new friend Sugo. More like Sugondi's nuts, am I right, guys? But before we jump right in, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. I'm currently on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so any and all support would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much. Now let's just jump right in. So immediately what jumped out as strange to me was that moment when those girls were talking about Sugo when he transferred into their class. They said he was quite the hunk, looking like a combination of Denji and the class president Haruka Isayumi. My personal grievances with Isayumi aside, it's been well established that he's supposed to be quite the handsome young lad. That said, I was under the impression that Denji's supposed to be a loser that smells like wet dog and is the class's human chair. I'm not sure if this chapter was supposed to imply that Denji is seen as good looking to the rest of his class, but that would be quite the unexpected turn of events. This is not my Denji. But they could also be referring to Sugo's manner of speech and how he's incredibly rough around the edges. I think the English version of this chapter did a pretty good job of conveying this, but similarly to Denji, Sugo's Japanese isn't necessarily the most polite. I'll give you guys a quick little Japanese lesson when it comes to Denji and Sugo. They both use ore to refer to themselves, and omae and yatsu to refer to others. These are just pretty rude ways to talk to people. They also both shorten and change words that end in an I sound to an A sound, which comes off as incredibly rough and almost uneducated sounding. The more I think about Denji and Sugo, the more similar they become to me. They both speak in the same way, they're both cocky bastards, and they're both stupid and easy to manipulate. I sense an incredibly dangerous situation on the horizon. I think Denji and Sugo are about to become best friends. Now right now, I'm elated thinking about the possibility of Denji and Sugo having badass fight scenes together, then giggling while drawing boobies on their desks at school. But that isn't even the biggest takeaway from today's chapter. I think the elephant in the room, and I'm seeing it all over social media right now, is the confirmation that the weapon hybrids are alive and hold positions of power within the Church of Chainsaw Man. At least I'm assuming that's what Sugo meant when he said the weapons walk with the Chainsaw Man Church. He could be referring to possible other hybrids that we haven't been introduced to yet, but it would make most sense if he's talking about Katana, Whip, Reize, and Quan Chi, seeing as they all have reasons to be thankful to Denji for freeing them from Makima's control. Which, first of all, Reize fans rise up, we might be getting Best Girl again sooner than we thought, but unfortunately I wouldn't be celebrating too soon because we've been lulled into a false sense of security. Even though Sugo seems like a pretty alright guy, there's something clearly wrong with the Church of Chainsaw Man, especially seeing as they have some sort of connection to the Justice Devil, who was responsible for most of the havoc earlier in Chainsaw Man Part 2. There was also the remark by Fumiko that it seems like Fugo's just being used like a tool by someone else again. I mean, what truly good organization relies on manipulation techniques to garner support? It feels like everyone's just being used like pawns right now. I think in the end, the people who truly have Denji's best interest in mind will be Yoshida and public safety, even though it feels like they're trying to restrict him in what he's allowed to do. But this begs a few more questions. What will public safety do about Denji joining the cult? Will Yoshida try to kill Nayuta now? And could the cult truly protect Denji from the consequences of joining them? I have a feeling Fumiko might try to get Denji back on public safety's side by employing underhanded seduction tactics, but I could also see her being pretty unbothered by the idea of Denji joining the church. It's honestly Yoshida I'm more worried about, because even though it seems like he truly wants what's best for Denji, he's the one that's going to have the harshest reaction to Denji's insubordination. I'm not sure what the answers to any of these questions may be, but it feels like there are more and more moving parts behind the scenes in Chainsaw Man now than ever. I think a full reread of Chainsaw Man Part 2 might be warranted in order to truly wrap my head around everything that's going on in the story right now. I know I missed last night's live stream because I had a going away party. I'm moving apartments right now, but maybe I can make it up to you guys by hosting some kind of Chainsaw Man reread live stream once I'm fully moved in and settled. So let me know down in the comments if that'd be something you'd be interested in. As I mentioned, I'm currently moving out of my apartment right now, which is why I have my classic old background behind me, but this means I'm gonna have to potentially change up my style for next week's chapter review and potentially even the review after that. Next week, I'd expect something a little less edited and more like a chapter reaction more so than a traditional chapter review. I hope you guys will still like it, but it'll be a little different from usual as I settle into my new place. It'll be business as usual after that, though. We're gonna take a week off of the Future Devil predictions for this video, seeing as I didn't have a live stream last night, but they're gonna come back next week in full swing. So if you're a fan of that, I hope you look forward to it. But that's about all for this week's chapter review video. Remember to like and subscribe and check out this cool video that just popped up on your screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye now. Subscribe. I love you.